Hey guys, BB28 Bombers here with a new Minecraft episode, and today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of the Easter eggs that you can find in the Adventure Time world for Minecraft. So number one, starting off with Finn's house, I'm going to do all of these collectively. When you first walk in, you can see a lot of the gold, as in the show, when they walk into their house, there is a lot of gold collecting up in the main room of their house. When you walk in, you can go and visit the different rooms in Finn's house. And if you haven't already noticed, it plays actual music from the show. I'll let you guys have a listen right here. Next up is in Finn and Jake's room. If you look at every single bed in the world, it shows Finn's sleeping bag, which he keeps on top of his bed. That's one of the Easter eggs from the show, as every bed has it. The next Easter egg I'm going to go over is with all of the spawn eggs. So, if you launch into creative and you go through some of the various spawn eggs, say skeletons, creepers, all those things, you can sometimes see a direct reference to the show. So, I'm going to spawn some, and I'm going to see if you guys can tell what they're supposed to resemble. Okay, so I'm going to start off with an Enderman, which appears to be something from the Nether, or something like that. I can't really remember the direct reference of the episode, but it is something cool like that. Next up, if you spawn a Ghast, it looks like the giant monsters that can be found in the Nether, or, in this case of this Minecraft world, Hudson Abadir's place, the father of Marceline. Next up, if you go to spawn a witch, there's a reference to Season 1, as there's a witch that looks like that who lives in one of the forests. They talk to Finn and Jake and say that they're lonely, only to try and capture them. Next up, there's pigs, which look like these little things. I don't know what these are, but if anybody remembers, please leave a comment below. Next up is one of my favorites, the polar bear. In one of the episodes, there's an instance in which a bear copies what Finn looks like, and he likes to follow Finn around and be just like Finn. So these polar bears are a reference to that bear. Next up is a cow. It's just a typical cow. Next up is a wolf. If you remember in the Thanksgiving special quite a few years ago, there's a certain fire wolf that lives in a snow golem's place. Basically, this wolf is made out of the episode, and are kinda similar to that of the Lava Kingdom, as they can breathe fire, but not actually in the game. Next up, we have the horse. If you remember a while back, like, I don't know, say Season 1, Season 2, there was this weird horse that would watch Finn and Jake. It turned out that that horse specifically was the Ice King dressed as a horse. So, the horses in games can sometimes spawn as that horse, and look at Finn's house from a while away. Next up are the villagers. Now there's a lot of variations of villagers in the Minecraft texture pack. They're not just the same typical villager. Except what's cool about these ones is that they spawn as candy people in the actual show. So, villagers are candy people. So, if you go over to the Candy Kingdom, you can spawn a bunch of them in. The third Easter egg that you can find in this world is all of the kingdoms. These kingdoms include the Slime Kingdom, which is actually below ground. You can also bounce up and down on the slime, just like in regular Minecraft. There's lots of tunnels and cave systems underneath it, so I'll leave these for you guys to explore. Anyways, after the Slime Kingdom, if you look exactly to your right, you will see the Mo Factory, where BMO is created. Not far from there is the Breakfast Kingdom. If you go even farther out, you can find where Finn's mom was in the Island series, along with all the other humans as well. After that, you can look and see the Flame Kingdom just to the right of this main hospital-looking place. I don't really know what to call it. Anyways, if you keep on traveling, you'll eventually come over to this sort of ridge on the sea. Now, not far from that is Lady Rainicorn's house. Also, there's another kind of mountain around here, which leads you back to the Candy Kingdom. If you go through certain forests in this game, you can also find houses such as Tree Trunk's house, Magic Man's house, and lots of other houses from the show. Now, not far from the Candy Kingdom, in fact, just next to it, is Ice King's Kingdom. Now, there's certain things about Ice Kingdom that I'm going to talk about. First of all, when you walk in, you can see Ice King's drum set. You can also find his prison that he uses to keep, people there. I don't know a better way to explain that. And not far from Finn's house is Boom Boom Mountain. If you remember this from Season 1, there was a mountain with a face on it who was always sad and would cry boulders, because he couldn't see the cooler mountain on the other side of him. Easter egg number 4, the Nether. As you know in Minecraft, the Nether is where a lot of lava and stuff spawns. But there's a few direct Easter eggs in the Nether that I'm going to tell you guys about. First off, for number 4, the Nether is the home of Hudson Abadir, which I did mention earlier. When you go into the Nether, if you spawn in a certain spot, not from this portal, then you'll need to search your way to get to Hudson Abadir's lair. However, if you go through the entrance to Marceline's house, you'll be able to find it easily. So now, it's on to glitch number 5. I meant to say Easter egg, not glitch. Anyways, if you take a look at these yellow blocks, you might be wondering what they are. However, if you did watch a few of the episodes in Season 5 and 6, you might have caught the episode where Finn and Jake actually came here. And when they first kind of came over to Hudson Abadir's realm, they spawned inside of a cage, or they were inside of a cage, with a bunch of bananas surrounding them, kind of for food. So anyways, if you walk somewhat forward, you'll now be in Hudson Abadir's place. And you'll see a lot of these ghasts, which symbolize this one, which could actually be found out here. There's lots of Easter eggs in the Nether that I haven't explored yet, so I'm not really going to spoil them for you. I'm going to let you guys go over them if you'd like. But there's also a few of the other creatures that are in Hudson Abadir's lair. Anyways, I thought this was a cool idea for the creators of Minecraft to come up with, to make the Nether kind of like a kingdom sort of place. So anyways, I hope you guys found this one interesting, because it took me a while to find Marceline's house, and even better, find another. Now, Easter egg 6 is something that comes in the Breakfast Kingdom. First of all, take a look at the walls. Don't notice it yet? It's bacon, kinda similar to breakfast, hence the name of the kingdom. You can also see coffee pouring out of the top of the kingdom, similar to in the show. Coming out of a giant coffee pot, that is. And if you walk into the kingdom, the first thing you'll notice is that the carpet is bacon too, and that there's tables everywhere. I call Easter egg number 7 where the humans live, because it truly is where they are. Now, if you go next to Finn's house, somewhat near the Ice Kingdom, there's a spot in the ground where you can find a bit of a lever. When you pull the lever, it leads you to underground. Now where it takes you is kind of cool because it's a direct nod to the series. Once you reach the bottom, you'll notice that this is where Susan Strong and the other humanoids live, and this little underground tunnel with water all around it. Now you can kind of explore the place, it's quite a big place, but it eventually leads to this giant city right in the middle of all of it. There's also many places that you can visit in here, and there may or may not be one of those music CD chests, which is something that Mojang and the creators of Minecraft have put in every single world. A series of 12 music discs which you can put all across the world, and you can search for them as they are in little chests. For Easter egg number 8, you're going to want to come to the forest near Breakfast Kingdom and somewhat near Finn's house. Now when you first go into the forest, you'll notice quite a few small houses. One of these houses belongs to Tree Trunks, the little elephant who would make Finn and Jake pie. Then, if you head a bit this way, I don't really know where on the map that is, but if you go to the darker part of the forest, you will find Magic Man's house. You know, the guy who was kind of insane and would turn Jake into certain things. And if you mine down, you can come over to his basement, which has a bunch of potions in it, so that's how we know that it's his house. Easter egg number 9 belongs to the one kingdom that I am yet to mention. So this kingdom is Lemongrab's kingdom. Now if you don't know who Lemongrab is, he's a character who was created by Princess Bubblegum through a science experiment. Eventually, Princess Bubblegum got annoyed with him and sent him away. So he was able to create his own kingdom. Now in his kingdom you can go through all of the rooms he has in the castle, and there's not too much to check out, except for an upstairs, a downstairs, and really like an attic almost. But what's cool about it is you know that you're near Lemongrab's kingdom, because in the forest next to it, the trees and everything around it just so happen to be yellow. So that's all I've got for Lemongrab's kingdom. It's maybe one of my favorites, based on how different it is from all the other kingdoms. Easter egg number 10. It's a direct reference to the time where the candy people were infected by zombies. If you take a look, whenever you spawn a zombie, for example in this little cave right here, you'll notice that they are infected candy people from one of the episodes early in the show's creation. The next Easter egg, number 11, comes from the same exact mountain where we just saw those zombies. Basically, it's the mountain where Finn and Lumpy Space Princess take a trip to. In this mountain, there are lots of mirrors inside the main room, and Finn tells Lumpy Space Princess not to go near them or look at them. However, Finn ends up looking at one, and a bunch of himself spawns out of them, and they come to attack him. Finn eventually has to destroy all of the things coming out of the mirrors. And for example, Minecraft decided to put zombies down here. If you take a look at snowballs, when you throw them up in the air, they have smiley faces on them. That's all for that one. Easter egg number 13 is something I call Jake armor. Now I call this one Jake armor because when you put on gold armor in this version of Minecraft, it'll appear as Jake the dog from the show. Now many people might not understand a reference to this, but it's a reference to when Finn needed to protect himself, so Jake allowed him to wear himself as armor. So basically, Finn was running around with Jake on him, using him as a shield to protect himself so they could take out a monster together. When you first spawn into the end, you'll notice that it looks a lot kind of like Lumpy Space. If you don't remember what Lumpy Space looks like, it's the home ground of Lumpy Space Princess. Basically, if you look on the outside of the end, in regular Minecraft, you'll notice that the walls have a bit of a purple tint to them. In this version of Minecraft, at least the Adventure Time version, this is much, much different. As you'll know that, well, Lumpy Space has a different tint to it. It's kind of purple that is kind of almost like space stuff. So, when you look at the outside of it, you'll be able to notice that, well, it looks exactly like Lumpy Space when you look around. In my opinion, though, they shouldn't have made the Ender Dragon the main boss of the end. They should have made it the Lich, like in the show. I think that that would have made it kind of more of a reference to Adventure Time, and I think it would have been a cool Easter egg for all the fans of the show. And finally, Easter egg number 15 is every character that you can play as from the show in the game. Anyways, that's all I have for Easter eggs for Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition Adventure Time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.